Okay, this is the test. It's a test functionality of the invoice generation using the new platform for your document layout. So basically, the document layout function that we're building into the directory monitor, where you supply the Excel list, and then you also supply the mapping ID and all that stuff, and it generates everything automatically. This is the part that allows the old customer base to get to the new customer base, basically what I was speaking with Matt about. But I put two things on here, and again, this is very crude and very rough, but I'm going to do a two-file mapping right now. So the two-file mapping, hold on one second, let me move this up, and let me change the size of this too, so it's a little bit easier to read. Again, this is not to be a final format. Right now I'm just showing the how everything's going to be functioning. So first we're going to select the key file. So Matt gave me two files to test. One of them is the key file, which this will show the first part of the keys, and the other is the detail file. So what we're doing is I'm creating a map real quick that's going to link these two files together. So here's the detail files. So this is the key, the record file. So this would link to one of these. So you can see 149321 would link to these two records. So what we're going to do first is we're going to set the key column. So the key column is right there, and the key column is right here as well. So now we have the two columns mapped. You can see it's all on here. I do have a couple other features on there too, but right now, just for the sake of showing this, we're going to skip through some of those other features. With one button click, it's going to go through, and as you can see, it's pretty quick. We got address file template generated. Well, what happened on the back end is it took those files. Let me create and it basically converted them so they'll work on your website. So what it did is basically it pivoted the table. So see how it created on one single record? So here was a key, and what it did is it took all these detail, let me expand this a little bit, all these detail columns here, it put in the same row. So detail number one, key one, blah, 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 it does that repeating for all, we have up to 15 lines of detail on it. So it basically put everything across on the thing and allowed everything to be converted into one record. Now that's in one record format, when we transmit to your site, people could do very complex mailers, such as if they want to send out invoices, they want to send out all this stuff, you can have repeating line level detail. So I hope I'm not being confusing on this. Matt, I think, understands what we're doing here, so he can probably explain a little bit better than I can. But basically what we did is we took the detail records and we got it into a single record, so it could then be used with your software using the mail merge feature. A lot of people do invoicing and more complex mailers. So if I wanted to now shift my invoicing to doing 100% through you guys, I could actually just generate the files on my end and have the mapping automatically converted and send it through, and then you guys would populate the data accordingly. Let's do one more example on here. So there's two types of formats. What we did on the first one, that was the standard format. What I'm going to do on this one is going to be another Excel mapper, but this is going to use a single file. So on a single file, I'm going to use an XLS file. So I created a record on here that is repeating columns, kind of similar to how a database would input it or output it. So if I did a standard join on a database, the record column over here repeats. Then you can see over here my date, rate, invoice, detail, row ID. This is all unique. So on this one is slightly different, but again, if someone is pulling this data from a database and want to use your software, this would be a more common output rather than two separate file outputs. But on this, I would set the repeating columns equal to where they repeat. So basically what I'm saying is all these columns, when there's a change here, then it's a new record. So we know this Dr. Tusum is all part of the same invoice, and this is the supporting detail on it. Then this Mitch Freeman is a second one. I'm also going to do a kind of cool feature here. I'm going to put a sum column on there where I'm going to say that these rate columns, I want them added up. So the sum column is now going to be added up as well. Again, same process. Going to click Generate Files. That was generated. Now let's look at the output. And on this output, you're going to see same concept and everything, but it's just worked on two different types of file types. So when we open this up, you can see it converted every record to where it's supposed to be, and then where I put the sum of, it actually summed up all the detail for it. So when we look at this, all these, if I was to add up all these individual rates, the software automatically put on its own total, making some pretty powerful invoice features. But again, what we did, if you want to look at this from the raw data side, we're going to go here one sec, and from the raw data side, this is what it'll look like. So it was all these invoices, and it converted real quickly to this, which makes it usable on your system. So pretty cool stuff on it. This was the hard part. The next part, I'm just going to have it send it through the API. We'll do some testing. But in theory, now with using the directory monitor, we could get some more advanced types of invoicing going out.